up? It's JT the AT here, coming at you with a fresh set of exercises and stretches to prevent shoulder injuries. This is focused at basically the CrossFit community, and it's based on all the available research and meta-analysis, and I wrote up a blog about this that I'll link below, so let's get into it. First of all, I've got two stretches, and the point of these stretches are going to be to increase the range of motion of our shoulders. First one, very simple, just called a box stretch. You get a box like this, you're going to lower yourself down, and we actually want to kind of press our chest down below the shoulders, and you can even get a partner to push down on your back. Notice I'm keeping my thumbs up. That's kind of simulating that snatch movement. The next advancement of this exercise is we actually want to kind of engage and stretch out our serratus anterior. So you would do basically your downward dog stretch here, but on this one we especially want to focus on opening up our shoulders and getting our chest through our arms. And you should be able to feel the serratus anterior open up as you use gravity to push yourself into that position. So there's your two stretches to open up your shoulders. Next, I want to go into four basic things that are going to help you with the overhead press. Two of these are cues. As a coach, you can use these to kind of explain to your athletes what to do. And one of the biggest mistakes I see is when people go into that overhead press, they're totally opening up their thoracic and lumbar spine, putting a lot of compression in the low back. What we want to do, maybe we do want some thoracic extension, but we want to maintain that core stability. So the cue that you would use would be like compress your ribs. So we want to compress the rib cage so that even when you're pressing, that rib cage is compressed. You may still get some extension, but you're maintaining that core activation. So that's the first cue. Second cue we want to do is in the press. A lot of people, we're so focused on increasing our external rotation that we kind of forget the internal rotation. What's up, cat? Get out of here. So as we press, we actually want the scapula to rotate up and out, coming up like that. So when you get to the top of your press during your warm-up sets, you might just want to do a little shrug, which is going to engage your upper traps, get that upper range of motion, and allow your scapula to rotate up and out. If your scapula aren't rotating, then you're going to get a lot of compression syndromes in the anterior part of your shoulder. Might be your biceps, supraspinatus, rotator cuff issues there. So those are your two cues. Compress the ribs, shrug the shoulders at the top. And then we've got two exercises which I think will help you or your athletes understand these movements a little better. And the first one, we're going to take this band, or any band really, going to wrap it around behind you. I'm holding it here just so I have some resistance. Basically, we're going to come in here. As we press up, you should feel your scapula right here kind of lift and rotate up around, right? So I'll demonstrate that one more time. Come in here, pinkies on the wall, I'm pretty close. Just like an overhead push press, I'm going to press up, and I'm going to allow the scapula to come up. You can see it right there. That's almost entirely scapular motion. So we want to control the scapula through here, and when we get to the top, open that up with that shoulder shrug, and that way we're going to prevent that anterior compression in the shoulder. Lastly, this one's a little more advanced. I recommend getting a coach to oversee this, or as a coach, just making sure that you train this as part of either your warm-up or development of a new athlete into overhead motions. So we're going to start with a dumbbell here. You want to check and make sure that your arm is in line with your ear. We're going to just do a forward lunge. Forward step back, just like this. As a coach, what you're watching for is how's their spinal alignment? Are they arching their back? Are they leaning forward? Is their shoulder so tight they can't get it locked out vertical? All of those things are, kind of cues that you can watch for and correct in your athletes. That's going to build the endurance, for those overhead presses so that we don't injure ourselves from fatigue. And ultimately it kind of forces your body to have perfect position. If you don't, then you'll fall out of it, or your coach will be like, all right, you know what, your shoulders are too tight, you gotta loosen those up before you work out. Cool, last ones. All right, because everyone talks about kipping and pull-ups and muscle-ups in CrossFit. The third one is how do we prevent injury with that? The simplest one is just doing some simple external rotation exercises. Grabbing a band here, opening up like that. The key is really trying to isolate this muscle, the teres minor, behind your shoulder, and not use your lateral and posterior delts for that external rotation. So the less resistance you have, the better. Because if it's too much resistance, then it'll kick in those larger muscle groups. And lastly, come on over here. We're going to do what I call the pull-up plus. Pull-up plus is a pull-up, but we're only going to use our shoulder, just like we did over there with the shrugs. We're going to grab here, and we're going to engage our shoulders, lifting up and lower, just like that. That's a pull-up plus. I honestly recommend that every athlete either finish their workout with sets of those, or at least start any kind of upper body workout with 1 or 2 sets, just to warm up your scapular elevators and rotators and all that good stuff. Hey guys, if you like this video, go ahead and comment, like, subscribe. If you like the long articles like that, hey kitty, then check out my website, coloradoathletictraining.com. If you're more into short videos, snippets, little tips here and there, check out my Instagram at JTTheAT. And I'll see you next week.